Good morning, dear students. Last class we studied about preparation of alkenes. Today here we are going to discuss about the properties of alkenes. So as earlier we know that whenever we consider about the properties, first we have to think about its physical properties and chemical properties. And physical properties first, what are the physical state, the solubility, melting point and boiling point, and chemical property, various types of chemical reactions. Okay, so first come to 1 minute. So first come to physical properties. First physical state. So the first three members, that is ethene, propane and butane. These are colorless gases. So first three members are colorless gases. First three members are colorless gases. Next members, first three members are colorless gases. Next members up to C4 to C15, and C5 to C15. Next members, 10 members, C5 to C15. These are colorless solid, colorless liquids, and still higher members are colorless solids. These are colorless solids. So, and one thing except ethene. So, ethene has sweet smell. Ethene has sweet smell. Except ethene, all other alkenes are odorless. Okay. Next come to solubility. So in the solubility, these are insoluble solubility. So as these are also non-polar compounds, in this way these are insoluble in polar solvents like water, but soluble in non-polar solvents, soluble in polar and non-polar solvents like ether, benzene, etc. Okay. Next come to boiling point. So boiling point of these are low. So boiling point of alkenes are low but higher than that of corresponding alkenes. So boiling point of alkenes are low but higher than that of corresponding alkenes. So boiling point low, but with an increase in molecular mass, boiling point increases. But whenever we consider about the isomeric alcohol, in the isomeric alcohol, the cis isomer has higher boiling point than that of the trans isomer, because cis isomers are more polar. Okay, so between isomeric alcohol, the cis isomer have higher boiling point then trans isomers. Already you know what is the cis isomer and what is the trans isomer. Then come to melting point. So melting point also increases. So first 15 members are actually up to gas and liquids. Next are solids. So when we consider about the solids, then the melting point increases with increase in molecular mass. Okay. So melting point also increases with increase in molecular mass, but between isomeric alcohol, the trans isomer have higher melting point than cis isomer because these are symmetrical nature and that can fit in the crystal lattice well. Okay, so melting point also increases with increasing molecular mass, and trans isomers have higher boiling point, higher melting point, than cis isomers. So these are some idea about the physical properties of alkenes. Next come to chemical properties. So in the when we consider about the chemical properties, generally alkenes are more reactive than that of alkanes. So in alkane there is carbon-carbon single bond, but in alkane there is carbon-carbon double bond. Look here, so this is carbon-carbon double bond. So due to presence of this carbon-carbon double bond, you know between sigma bond and pi bond is a weaker bond. As the pi bond is a weaker bond, this bond dissociation or bond breaking takes place easily, the pi bond. So in this way, these alkenes undergo addition reaction. This bond breaks and small molecules here, a small addition of small molecule takes place. Okay, this bond breaks and addition of small molecule takes place. So this addition reaction is first initiated by electrophile. In this way, these alkenes generally undergo electrophilic addition reaction. So this generally undergo addition reaction, and this addition reaction are initiated by electrophile. So these generally undergo electrophilic addition reactions. Okay, so alkenes are more reactive than alkanes. Alkenes are more reactive than alkanes due to presence of weaker pi bond. Okay, and due to this, these alkenes generally undergo electrophilic addition reaction. So they undergo addition reaction, and this addition is first initiated by electrophile. That's it. You can say this undergo electrophilic addition reaction. So generally undergo electrophilic addition reaction. What is the mechanism of this electrophilic addition reaction? Mechanism of electrophilic addition reaction. So this mechanism involves two steps. In first step, what happens? The pi electron cloud of this alkene or this double bond polarizes the addition product, the addendum. What is the addendum? To it, first it polarizes. In this way, it creates an electrophile. So it generates an electrophile. At the same time, due to electromagnetic effect, the pi bond move towards that carbon, and where the electrophile attacks. The pi electron moves to that carbon. So in this way, it generates a carbocation. And in the second step, what happens? The carbocation that carries the positive charge that attack the nucleophile. In this way, the addition product is formed. Look here. So what happens in step 1? Suppose this is double bond, okay, and this is electrophile and one nucleophile. So this is one compound is there. This consists of positive part and negative part. The positive part is the electrophile, the negative part is known as the nucleophile. So this is positive, or you can say this is negative, electrophile and nucleophile. Then what happens? This bond polarizes the nucleophile. In this way, it generates electrophile and a nucleophile, and at the same time, the electron cloud, it attacks the electrophile, attacks the carbon, the electrophile attacks the carbon, and the bond also shifted towards that carbon. At the bond total, the electron pair shifted towards one carbon. This carbon carries the negative charge, and to that the positive charge is there. So in this way, it forms C. Here electrophile is substituted. Here, okay, and in this way it creates a carbocation. So formation of carbocation. So this one, generation of one carbocation. And what happens in step 2? In step 2, the carbocation then C plus is there, C, and here there is the nucleophile plus nucleophile. Then the nucleophile attacks this carbocation, and here the electrophile is there, and it forms C. So here nucleophile C, and here electrophile. In general, maximum cases, the trans product is formed. One side the electrophile attacks, and another side the nucleophile is substituted. So in this way, it is the addition reaction. Okay. So what are the steps? Just wait a moment. So look at the mechanism. So the pi electron cloud polarizes the attacking molecule. First with pi electron, the double bond, polarizes the attacking molecule and generates electrophile E plus Nu minus. First breakdown takes place. It generates electrophile for attack. So it attacks. Always from electron rich to less electron. In the movement of this electron should be shown from high electron density to less electron density. More electron density to less electron density. Okay, so for attack. At the same time, due to electromagnetic effect, the pi electron cloud moves to that carbon which attacks the electrophile, okay, and generates a carbocation. And then after the formation of the carbocation, the nucleophile, so the electron rich, then attack the carbocation to form the addition compound. Okay. So this is the mechanism of electrophilic addition reaction. Now let us look at the addition reaction of some addition reaction of alkenes. So first, addition of hydrogen. So when alkenes react with hydrogen in presence of catalyst like nickel, platinum, palladium, etc., so it forms an alkane. Okay, already this reaction we have discussed in the preparation of alkane. So alkane reacts with hydrogen. So C double bond C here. Suppose plus hydrogen is there in presence of nickel, or platinum or palladium, and the temperature is also from 525 to 575 Kelvin. So in this way, it gives rise to some bond breaking takes place here and here. It forms CCHH. So this is an alkane and this is alkene. For example, when we have taken ethane reacts with hydrogen in presence of nickel or platinum or palladium at 525 to 575 Kelvin, nearly about. Okay, so it gives CH3, that is ethane. It is given ethane and this is ethene. Similarly, when it reacts with propene, double bond CH2, so propene reacts with hydrogen in presence of nickel at 525 to 575 Kelvin. It gives rise to, here also bond breaking takes place. Hydrogen come here in this way, CH3, CH2 and CH3. This is propane. So this, what is the name of the reaction? Name of the reaction is Savoyer-Senderens reduction reaction. So alkenes react with hydrogen in presence of catalyst. It forms an alkane. Okay. Next come to addition of halogens. So alkenes reacts with halogens like chlorine, bromine, iodine, etc. in presence of inert solvents like carbon tetrachloride to form vicinal dihalides, that is dihaloalkanes. Okay, so the reactivity of different halogen is chlorine is more reactive than bromine than iodine. Okay, so alkenes reacts with halogens like chlorine, bromine, iodine, etc. in presence of inert solvent like carbon tetrachloride, to form vicinal dihalides, that is dihaloalkanes. Okay, so here also the addition reaction, and how this reaction takes place, the reactivity of different halogen is chlorine more reactive than bromine than iodine towards it. Okay, so for example, when ethene HC double bond C HH, this is ethene, reacts with chlorine in presence of CCl4. Here also bond breaking takes place, in chlorine also bond breaking takes place, Cl plus Cl minus, and this reaction also follows the electrophilic substitution reaction. Okay, so in this way, so first it forms Cl plus and Cl minus, so this electromagnetic effect, this bond comes here and Cl plus comes here, and after that Cl minus. Same way, the electrophilic substitution reaction takes place. So ethene reacts with chlorine in presence of CCl4 to form HCH, single bond CHH. You can write one Cl here, one Cl here, or you can write here also. Actually, trans product is the more. So in trans, when this addition reaction takes place, but in alkane there is no cis in trans. So in this way, you can write like this, or I can write like this. HCH, here Cl, CHHCl, 1, 2 dichloroethane, addition reaction. Similarly, if propene is there, CH3CH double bond CH2, this is propene reacts with bromine in presence of CCl4. It gives, here also bond breaking takes place, one bromine to here and one bromine to here. So it forms CH3, CHBr and CH2Br. 1,2-dibromopropane. 1,2-dibromopropane. And these are all vicinal dihalides. Look here. So this bromination is also used for test for unsaturation. If alkene and alkyne are there, so test whether these compounds are unsaturated, its bromine water is used. So the bromine has generally reddish brown color, and when alkenes pass through it, it forms dihaloalkane and which is colorless. So this bromination is used. Bromination is used for the test of unsaturation. Okay, so bromine is reddish brown liquid, and when alkene reacts, its reddish color discharges. So it becomes colorless. In this way it is used for the detection of unsaturation. Okay, so note down this. Next come to addition of halogen acids. Halogen acids, HX. So when alkene reacts with halogen acids, it forms haloalkane. So double bond breaks to one side, one carbon halogen atom attached, and to another carbon hydrogen is attached. Okay, so it forms haloalkanes. And between different halogen acids, the reactivity of different halogen acid is HI is greater than HCl, greater than HBr, greater than HCl. Okay, so addition of halogen acids. So alkenes react with halogen acids to form haloalkanes. And the reactivity of different halogen acid is HI greater than HBr greater than HCl. That is due to the bond length of this halogen and iodine. So if the bond length is higher than this bond energy is less, in this the reactivity order is HI greater than HBr greater than HCl. Okay, and this reaction is also occurred through what? It is your electrophilic substitution reaction. Look here. So when ethene CH double bond CH. So when ethene reacts with halogen acids like HCl or HBr, then what happens? So this bond breaks here. So it forms some CH and the CHCl. Okay, so it forms some ethyl chloride or chloroethane. Similarly, when butene reacts CH3CH double bond CH2, so but2ene reacts with HBr to anywhere between double bond, to anywhere this hydrogen comes, to anywhere this hydrogen bromine atom comes. So in this way it forms CH3, CH2 and CHBr CH3. That is 2 bromobutane. 2 bromobutane. So both sides. So either hydrogen may come here, bromine may come here, or hydrogen may come here, bromine may come here. In this case, 2 bromobutane is formed. So when ethene reacts with HCl, it forms ethyl chloride and chloroethane. When Bu2Ne reacts with HBr, it forms 2 bromobutane. But look, these are symmetrical alkenes. Symmetrical alkene means if the same alkyl groups are present on both sides of the double bond, that is known as your symmetrical alkene. And if different alkyl groups are present on both sides of the double bond, that is known as your unsymmetrical alkene. So when symmetrical alkene is there, then only one product is formed. But if unsymmetrical alkene is there, then the negative part of the adenine will go to that carbon atom which contain less number of carbon atom. So this is known as Markovnikov's rule, and this addition reaction takes place according to Markovnikov's rule. Look here, suppose I have taken propene CH3CH double bond CH2, and here addition of HCl takes place between hydrogen and chlorine. Hydrogen is positive, chlorine is negative. This chlorine will move towards that carbon which contain less number of hydrogen. So here between this double bonded carbon atom, here it contains 1 hydrogen, here it contains 2 hydrogen. Then this chlorine will come here and it will form CH3, CH, and here Cl, and here CH3. This is 2-chloropropane. 2-chloropropane. So this is the major product. In some cases, a very less amount of 1-chloropropane is formed, but our image, what is the main product, what is the major product, that is the main product. So we can only say write like this, that is 2-chloropropane. Okay, so propene when reacts with HCl, then it forms 2-chloropropane. And this reaction is followed electrophilic substitution reaction through carbocation intermediate. And this is known as Markovnikov's rule. So what is Markovnikov's rule? Just note down. So addition of halogen acid, addition to unsymmetrical alkene. So in unsymmetrical alkene, the addition reaction takes place according to Markovnikov's rule. So according to Markovnikov's rule, this rule states that during the addition reaction to an unsymmetrical alkene, then the negative part of the addendum will go to that carbon which contains less number of hydrogen, and the positive part goes to the other carbon of the double bond. So in this case, CH3CH double bond CH2 propene HBr give rise to CHBr CH3, and 2-methyl propane is there HCl, here less number of hydrogen, no hydrogen. In this way, H plus Cl minus, the Cl will move towards carbon and hydrogen will move here. So in this way, 2-chloro-2-methyl propane is formed. And this reaction generally occurs through more stable carbocation intermediate. Okay, so this reaction occurs through more stable carbocation intermediate. So this is propene. So this reaction follows by the formation of more stable carbocation intermediate. Okay, so between CH3CH, CH2, HBr is there, then what happens? So first this one comes here, and between H plus and Br minus, it first attacks to this H. So as it first attacks to this H, first it forms CH3, CH plus and CH2. That is propane to isopropyl carbocation, isopropyl carbocation. Then it reacts with Br minus to form CH3, CH, Br and CH. In this way, it forms 2-bromopropane or isopropyl bromide. Okay. So this reaction occurs from carbocation intermediate. But if addition of HBr takes place, not HCl, HI, but if addition of HBr takes place in presence of organic peroxide such as benzoyl peroxide, then this Markovnikov's rule is reversed. That means the negative part will go to that carbon of the double bond which contains more number of hydrogen, and this effect is known as peroxide effect or Kars effect. Peroxide effect, also known as Kars effect. Okay, so this is also according to anti-Markovnikov's rule. We can say this is according to anti-Markovnikov's rule. Only addition of HBr takes place in presence of organic peroxide. Without peroxide, according to Markovnikov's rule. With peroxide, according to anti-Markovnikov's rule. And HCl, HI, always that follows the Markovnikov's rule, whether peroxide present or not. Okay, so for example, when addition of propane takes place, CH3CH double bond CH2, addition of HBr to propane takes place in presence of organic peroxide such as benzoyl peroxide C6H5 COO and OCO C6H5. In this way, this is known as benzoyl peroxide. So when it takes place, the addition of takes place in presence of benzoyl peroxide, then it gives CH3, CH2 and CH2Br. It gives 1-bromopropane. And why this so? This is so formed due to the formation of a free radical intermediate. So it forms a stable free radical. So as it forms due to stable free radical, in this it forms some 1-bromopropane. And this effect is called Kars effect, also known as peroxide effect. So next, so addition of halogenation, another part. There is when addition of HBr takes place in presence of organic peroxide, some organic peroxide, benzoyl peroxide or any organic peroxide, in presence of organic peroxide, then Markovnikov's rule is reversed. That means the negative part of the addendum will go to that carbon of the double bond which contain, the negative part of the addendum will go to that carbon atom of the double bond which contain more number of hydrogen atom, and the positive part comes to another. So this is CH3CH double bond CH2, here it contains 1 hydrogen, here it contains 2 hydrogen, H2 HBr addition in presence of peroxide, it forms 1-bromopropane. It forms 1-bromopropane. While in absence of peroxide, it forms 2-bromopropane. HCl, HBr, they have no peroxide. HCl, HI, they have no peroxide effect. HBr has only peroxide effect. So this is also called anti-Markovnikov's rule, Kars effect or peroxide effect, and this reaction occurs through free radical intermediate. So first note down these points. Look here how this reaction peroxide effect takes place. First C6H5C double bond O and O here C double bond O C6H5. First it undergo decomposition to form 2C6H5C double bond O free radical. And this free, so here this bond in this way, bond breaking takes place, it forms the free radical. And another step again what happens, this C6H5 C double one O free radical reacts with hydrogen bromide. So it on hydrogen bromide will bond. So in this way it forms it forms C6H5COOH and takes one hydrogen free radical and generates this bromine free radical. And again what happens, this CH3CH double bond CH2 again combines with Br dot, it forms, so here this bond taking takes place, here bond taking takes place, it forms CH3CH dot and CH2Br. In this way it forms another free radical. It forms, so this bond comes here, this comes here. In this way it combines with this B, it generates another secondary free radical is more stable. As the secondary free radical is more stable, if a bromine attaches here, it will form a primary free radical. But it will form a secondary free radical. As the secondary free radical is more stable, then this free radical will generate here. And again, this CH3CH dot CH2Br reacts with another molecule of HBr, which again generates the free radical. So here it combines with H dot free radical to form CH3CH2 and CH2Br plus Br dot. So in this way this mechanism takes place, and this Br may again combine to form this Br or any other combine to form another product. So in this way, due to this free radical mechanism, it forms one bromopropane, and due to carbocation intermediate, other form other form according to this Markovnikov's rule, it's 2 bromopropane or 2 chloropropane or 2 iodoropane. Okay, so this is the addition of halogen acids. Next come to addition of concentrated sulfuric acids. So alkenes reacts with cold concentrated sulfuric acid to form alkyl hydrogen sulfide. For symmetrical alkenes, no problem, and for unsymmetrical alkenes, generally this reaction takes place according to Markovnikov's rule. Okay, so alkenes reacts with cold concentrated sulfuric acid, cold and concentrated sulfuric acid to form alkyl hydrogen sulfate, to form alkyl hydrogen sulfates. Okay, for example, for unsymmetrical alkene, for unsymmetrical alkenes, the reaction follows Markovnikov's rule. Markovnikov's rule. For example, when ethene reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid in cold actually, so hydrogen H plus and HSO4 minus, and this HSO4 minus can be written as OXO3H. The linking takes place through oxygen. So OSO3H minus. So it has H plus OSO3H minus. This is the negative part, this is the positive part, and the negative part will go to that carbon which contains less number of hydrogen. So in this case, symmetrical is no problem. Anywhere you can add this positive part, anywhere you can this negative part. So in this way it gives bond tapping takes place, H plus comes here and OSO3H to another. It forms CH3, CH2, O, SO3H. Ethyl hydrogen sulfate. Similarly, propane, this is propane, reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid in cold to form, here also H plus, OSO3H minus. OSO3H minus will go to that carbon which contain less number of hydrogen, and H plus will go to that carbon which contain more number of hydrogen or the double bond. In this way, it forms CH3, CH, O, SO3H, CH3. It is isopropyl hydrogen sulfate. Okay, so these are some addition reactions of alkenes. Next class we will discuss some other addition reactions and some other types of reactions of alkenes.